What's up, guys? Welcome back. If I'm live, yeah, I'm live. Welcome back to the channel for, excuse me, another preview. It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks or something like that. So, excuse me. It's good to be back. Doing previews, and we're gonna do one every single 3-4 days. So that's insane. That's insane, and especially with the games coming up, that's gonna be hectic. We're not gonna get bored. Hopefully, we're gonna get very pleased or super depressed. It's one of the two. I don't think there's gonna be a middle ground because a middle ground will be also disappointed. Um, but yeah, a game every single 3 days. That's what's coming. We start off with Verona, obviously tomorrow. Probably not. Probably it's the quote unquote easiest game of the month by far. The next one up is maybe Sassuolo, or Bologna maybe at the end. But I will still say this one is the most easy one because it's at home. You're playing a relegation side. And the games coming after that are it's Inter, it's Lazio, it's Sporting, it's Napoli, it's again Inter. So it won't get easier than tomorrow, probably. So we need to keep that in mind, when we do this preview, because um, we need to start off strong for this month. We play Inter in the Coppa Italia, you play Lazio, and then you have Sporting. A lot can be decided in the next week because in the next 2 weeks, basically, in the next, let's say, 20 days, a bit more than 2 weeks, you can maybe be out of the Coppa Italia. You can be maybe out of the Europa League almost, and you can maybe be completely out of top four race. That's the next 20 days to you. So insane. The messed up part is we got the 15 points, or like the thing is we got the 15 points deduction after the Napoli game, and we will probably know just 2 days, 3 days before the Napoli game at home if you're getting those points back. So if you say coincidence, I wouldn't believe it. But yeah, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, because we are going to do a match reaction as well tomorrow. Justin will be back in about a week, and then Julian will join as well soon. And yeah, let's get into the presser first, as we usually do. It's not going to be a long preview because I'm a bit late. My bad. And it's also Verona, so I don't have really a lot to discuss. Now, the other previews will be they will be longer because there's a lot to be discussed, and we have played games in between, so it will just add up. But we start off with Allegri's quotes, as usual, because he spoke. He said, the first quote, you can copy paste that after every single break, but he's kind of right. He said that tomorrow it's not easy to get the first game back after a long break. It's complicated because the players have been away, and you don't know how the players are coming back. Kostic came back earlier. He's fit, thank God. So you don't know how players are coming back. Di Maria only came back basically today in training. So you also need to keep those things in mind. That's the kind of the danger of having an international break. So I'll give him that because I've seen it many times that we play a very, even for ourselves, a very slow-paced, struggling, sluggish game after a break where you're like, you're playing. I've seen it many times, and I kind of expect it tomorrow as well, because Verona are one of those teams that they're not good. They're absolutely not good, but I think they will give you a hard time because they need every single point now. Now it's money time for those teams. They're not going to hand you anything at this moment in time. You're going to need to fight for it. Then he talked about April, because why wouldn't he? Because I've never seen such a month in a very long time. It's intense. He said April could give us opportunity to reach very important matches. When you win, you have to enjoy the success, but but we haven't achieved anything yet, and we shouldn't think we are satisfied with the last victories. I think that goes for itself. No, like we won against Inter. It was a good one. You know, it's always good to beat the Inter, but at the end of the day, the season is still the season. You know, like what happened during this season, you cannot erase. So a win against Inter or a few good results, that's not gonna it's not gonna change the entire season. You know, it isn't. You know, I will not forget. You know, we shouldn't forget. Like he is saying, you need to keep everything in mind. Like nothing has been done. Like we have nothing. You know, it's still at this point a very bad season. You know, for a club as us. You know, there's positivity, which is good compared to what it was a few weeks back, months. Um, but it's still not a good season. You cannot basically, like he's saying, sit down and be like, oh, we beat Inter, we went on a little streak, Europa League, blah blah blah. It's all good, happy days now. You cannot say that, and that's when the next quote came in, and I was like, oh. He said our only concern is to, oh no, it will come in the next slide, excuse me. He said our only concern is to win games. We just have to manage the force as well and make the best use of all the energies of the available players. Like I said, you know, I think we're gonna see a lot of rotation by, like, there's no choice. Like we play every single 3-4 days. So we're gonna see the entire available squad being used. Again, that should mean you're going to see Sule more, Junior more, just because of the games you're playing. Like at one point, you need to give some of those players a rest. Now, I'm shocked because that's not going to happen tomorrow. And that makes me think, is he going to play Sule and Junior again in one of those big games? Napoli, Sporting, Inter. Is he going to do it again? Or is he going to run Kostic into the ground? That's my biggest fear. Because I will touch on Chiesa later on. But Kostic, Rabiot, those are two of those players where you're like, they're always out there, and you're like, you're scared. Yes, they're pretty solid of not getting injury, but with the fixtures piling up, at one point you need to give them a rest. And if it's not tomorrow, are you going to do it away to Sporting, at home to Sporting, Inter, Lazio away, you know, Napoli at home, like tough games. So that's my biggest worry, that he needs to use his team fully. But in certain areas, I think he will kind of ignore the fact that he needs to use everyone, and he's going to force players. You should get a rest, or just shouldn't be playing at all. That's my biggest fear for this month, basically. In certain positions, in other positions, he has no choice. Like there are no players in certain positions. Excuse me. So we're gonna need to play Sule a bit more, probably. Then he said the same thing, basically. He said when you win, you have to enjoy the success, but we have not achieved anything yet, and we should not think we are satisfied with the latest victories. Like I said, you know, it's still a crappy season. You know, if you're being 100, you know, if you keep it 100, if you're being honest, it's not a good season. So you cannot sit back and be like, oh, this is good. You know, it's not. It's just not good. And then comes the quote where I'm like, this feels... This feels something the club would tweet out with a picture of Danilo. That's something this quote feels like when I heard him. He said, I think this team makes itself loved because it respects the DNA of Juve. I think the fans appreciate that. Now, with the 15 points deduction, I appreciate the reaction. You know, I do. And I love the club, you know, no matter what, because I watch every single game, preseason games. If you have seen on the channel, we even do watch long for preseason games. So I watch every single game, love the club. Do I love this team? Not really. Like, there's not much personally to love about this team, you know. For the last 3-4 years, like, it's very hard because, you know, at one point, because that's what has been proven, they will let you down. You know, or something will happen and all those things. So I appreciate what they're doing with the 15 points. But again, I cannot forget what happened at the start of the season. It's part of the season. I cannot forget it. It's still a very poor season. You know, it is. So respects the DNA. Not really. The DNA is winning no matter what, because that's literally, you know, printed in the back of our shirts. You know, winning is the only thing that counts. So Is it respecting the DNA? Not 100%, because the DNA of this club is winning. That's why I'm not satisfied. That's why I am not happy when I see, um, excuse me, certain players get a new deal. When I see the players, what I just mentioned, who have been part of this non DNA, the non-winning DNA of the last couple of years, getting rewarded for mediocrity, basically, because the DNA of this club is winning. It will always be winning, no matter who's in charge, no matter who's on that pitch. That's the requirement for this club. That's the DNA. That's the only DNA of this club. And like this quote, like the DNA appreciate. I think that quote can fit Tottenham better because they don't win, but the fans will appreciate if they give it a go and reach top four. They will appreciate it because they never win. We do, like we win. So this, I don't know, like I cannot agree with this because the DNA of this club is winning. It's not showing reactions, because yeah, show a reaction by winning. It's been 3 years now. You might say every club has a dip. I get it, but it doesn't feel we're getting out of the dip. It feels like we're just stuck in the mud and we're struggling to get out of it at this point. And the moment you think almost out, you slip again back in. That's what happened last season. That's what happened the previous season. And even that's what happened at the start of the season. High expectations, we completely collapse. We try to build a momentum now, but this month could be another collapse. It could be, because we've seen it in the past. There's proof that these things happen. So let's see. Again, let's start off with Verona tomorrow. Probably the easiest, not probably, it's the easiest game on the schedule this month. No excuses. You need to get a clean win because it won't get easier, It won't. It won't get easier. If you start off with a bad result tomorrow, then you need to go into the Inter game, into the Lazio game, into the Sporting game with a bad feeling. With a feeling that, okay, we didn't even beat Verona at home. So, no excuses tomorrow, in my opinion. Now to a topic that sparked a big discussion for having an opinion, basically. Let me see. The Chiesa topic, because it sparks a big discussion. I will read out the two quotes because it's also Pogba related. Said Chiesa will not be with us tomorrow. We are working to have him fully available for Tuesday. At the moment, I don't know Pogba's recovery time. He's working. The doctor is fine, but it's difficult to give a timetable. I'm worried about Chiesa. That's all I said, and people got wild because he has no injury, but he's not playing. You can see he feels something at times, and then he comes out, and immediately after the game, it's like it's nothing. I'm worried about it. Like, it's a reason for concern. It's been, people say, oh, it's only been a year and 4 months. Only? Like, that's a lot of time. Like, that should be a reason for concern. It's a long time. It is. He's been back since November. I'm not expecting him to play full 90 minutes at a high intensity every single 3 games. I never said that. But I do expect to see him more than 50 minutes towards the end of the game after a year and 4 months almost. I do. Absolutely do. And the fact that it's not happening, I'm concerned. Like, I'm not saying he's injury prone now or he's not working hard enough to come back. But there's reason to be concerned about this because he's not fit. He comes on for 50 minutes and he comes off. Like, at times he doesn't even play the full 50 minutes he comes on, So something is up. And I think we should be concerned because it's taking a long time. I don't think we should be. There's something up. That's all I'm saying. Because yes, it needs time to recover, but not 50 minutes after, like 50 minutes here be out for 2 games, another 15 minutes. That's a reason to be worried. I believe. That's just all I said, because people are trying to brush it aside. Oh, he needs a full preseason. Then we are approaching almost 2 years. I'm gonna say that sounds ridiculous. 2 years, almost 2 years. That's way too long. That's all I'm saying. So something is up, you know, something more is up. People say it's mentally. I don't know. Could be. He suggested that it's some like he is not scared, but like he feels a bit of fear when doing certain things. It could be, you know. I get it. You know, I tore something. The first few weeks, it was terrible because you were just afraid that you were gonna snap again. You know, something was gonna snap again. The way you plant your foot into the field, you make a run, whatever. I get it. But at one point, it's like, yeah, you need to get over with it. So I don't know if that's the case. He suggested that it's something like that, but he's feeling pain, obviously. He went for checks. The doctor said it's fine. Nothing is there. But after such a long time, I think it's fair to say, or like, it's okay to be concerned that he can only play 50 minutes, and he cannot even play out those 50 minutes at times. Like, it's scary. It's worrying, in my opinion. And it's April, so we play every single 3 days now. The season is almost over. It's 2 months and it's done. It's only 2 months of football now, you know, basically, because it's April and it's May. It's done, you know. So 2 months of football. Yes, a preseason and all those things, extra rest is gonna help. But he was back in November. It's 3-4 months later now, and he's still struggling. He's still not capable of playing more than 20 minutes. I only said that's a reason for concern. Also because the surgery went well, the recovery went well, apparently. The checks are all well. So something is up, and it's scary. It's worrying that nobody can actually say it's this or that's why. They're all suggesting, oh, it's a tendon. I don't know how you say it in English. I know how you say it in Dutch, but it's this. It's a little niggle. It comes and goes, but that also hasn't been fully confirmed, you know, by the club. It's just worrying. That's all I'm saying, because Pogba gets a lot of stick. And he should, because he made the decision of the surgery and all those things. But it's really crazy that we don't have time frames, time stamps at the club with injuries. None of them. They can have a simple injury and the club say we will monitor day by day, and it's not day by day. It's monitoring weeks by weeks at this point. Bonucci, nobody knew what Bonucci really had. De Sciglio, like, he was off the radar for a few months. Like, it's ridiculous at this club, injury-wise. And that's all I'm saying. Like, it's a reason for concern. The track record of the club with injuries, and him being out for such a long time, and not he plays 50. He comes on for 50 minutes and he comes off, or you can see him, you know, struggling, you know, and not catching up with the other guys because he is in pain, and then the first thing out of the club is like he has nothing. So it's a very strange, like, I've never seen anything like it before, when you can clearly see that he has some sort of pain, and the first thing out of the club, even straight after a game, not even the day after, is no injury. Not once, but like 3 times at this point, you know. So yes, I'm concerned because it feels like nobody has a clue what's going on. Not he, not the club, not the doctors. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is, I guess. We need to deal with it. I just think it's taking a very long time, and that's why I'm concerned. You know, I don't trust this club with injuries. I just don't. I absolutely don't. Yeah, that's what I said, Johnny. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. I know he's overcompensating for on the other knee. I get it. But you get exercise. Like, this is a top professional, top level football, and it's taking such a long time. And yes, you are gonna overcompensate on one knee, But with all the help and all the technology, like I'm worried, that it happens once, it happens twice, it happens three times. At that point, I am worried because I'm like, okay, the club should have the best care or whatever, or don't put him out there if it's not 100%. But they put him out there because they apparently think he's fit, and then he needs to come off, or he can only play 10 minutes and those things. I don't know. I'm just worried about it. It sounds all weird. Um, that was all what I was suggesting. But let's see when he will come back. At this point, I'm going into it like Pogba. When he's on the team sheet to start, I will be hyped. If he's on the bench, I don't really care at this point because even if he's on the bench and he gets 10 minutes, yeah, So at this point, I'm just like, if he's ready to play games, if he's in the starting 11, you know, I will be hyped. I will be excited. If he's just in the squad, I don't think at this point it doesn't really matter anything, because he has been in the squad and gets 10 minutes and comes off even within those 10 minutes. So I need to see him on the excuse me. I need to see him in the starting 11. Then I will be excited. But yeah, before I wrap it up, going over the lineup or not even the predicted lineup. But Romeo said that Kostic and Cuadrado will play. That's what I was suggesting. With if Junior is not going to play tomorrow, then we're probably not going to see a lot of him in the next couple of weeks, during the game, like against opponents we're playing. So I'm a bit sad for him because I just don't see it happening for him. And probably, the rumors about him leaving in the summer are probably true, and I don't like it because I've not seen enough of him to say, yeah, get him out of here. But it is what it is, I guess, if he doesn't start tomorrow, I struggle to see him get significant minutes against Napoli, Inter, Sporting. I just don't, that's just my opinion. So they're going to start. Keane and Vlahovic up top are going to start. I think it's going to be Chesney in goal. Gatti is going to start, so it's going to be the same back three as the Inter game. So Danilo, Bremer, Gatti. It's going to be Chesney, Cuadrado, Kostic, probably Bornicea and Locatelli, which is going to be interesting how that's going to work. Probably Fagioli will play in front of him. And up top it will be Keane and Vlahovic. Keane, who had a great interview suggesting that Salah became Salah when he was 25. And Mane also took some time to become Mane. I rate his confidence, but I think we can all suggest that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But he's back after that suspension. Milik was back in training, so that's good news because I think he can be a key player in the coming weeks, popping up with key goals. So that's good news. Di Maria, as I said, came back in training basically today. So he's coming off the bench with Inter on Tuesday, I think it is, right? Or no? Yeah, I think it is on Tuesday, Coppa Italia Inter. Because we all play on Saturday because it's Easter on Sunday. So I think it's Tuesday. You'll probably start on Tuesday against Inter at home. So that's the lineup. It's basically the same lineup, right? I think Rabiot will get a rest for some reason. I think it's gonna be Barnechea, Locatelli, and Fagioli. That's what I believe. But you never know. Obviously, that should be good enough to beat Verona at home. There are no excuses. You need to beat Verona at home to go to start the month off well. Because it's gonna be. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. So, let me know your predictions in the chat. I'm gonna go for a 2-0 win. I'm gonna go with a Vlahovic and a Keane goal. So I'm gonna say, Rabiot suspended. That's right. I completely forgot about that. He is suspended. For that stupid mistake he made. But again, maybe a good thing because he will probably. If he wasn't suspended, I would give him a rest. And he needs a rest because he's playing everything. It's ridiculous. I completely forgot. But I'm going 2-0. Vlahovic and Keane. And my hot take for the game is that I don't have a hot take for the game. I actually don't. You know. Oh yeah, my hot take would be Fajoli will get the 2 assists. Let's go with that. But we need to win. No excuses. It's Verona at home, relegation side. They're basically going down with Sampdoria and Cremonese unless Spezia and Salernitana have a complete mental breakdown. They're just gonna they're gonna go down. You know, they're not good teams. So yeah, 2-0, Fajoli 2 assists is my hot take. Keane and Vlahovic to score. Anthony saying 3-1. I was thinking about 3-1, but I don't want to concede to Verona. Like if we concede to Verona, I know it's gonna be a very tough game that's gonna drag on for a while. You know, before we pull away. Hot take: Vlahovic scores a free kick tomorrow. He scored his first goal for us against Verona on his debut. So who knows? He got 3 goals in 2 games for Serbia. So yeah, who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow, match reaction. Sunday, probably a post game live, and then on Monday preview because I think we play on Tuesday against Inter, right? I'm not sure, but you know the time, the schedule for the channel when games are on. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again